Howdy folks, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I haven't done a video in a while. Just wanted to talk about a popular topic that seems to be making its ways across the internet thing. Um, it's about ChatGPT and algo trading. So, as I've said before, I'm moving and have moved into TradingView as my primary trading platform and moving into more PineScript, which is a proprietary programming language for TradingView. So I just want to talk about what I'm doing and how to use it, some lessons to be taken away from using things like ChatGPT. This process is really not meant for people that don't know how to program. I personally think if you're going to do whatever language you're going to do it in, you really got to know the language. The idea of taking a programming language, coding up anything, and specifically an algo trading strategy, you got to know the language because it's kind of useless when it comes to the tweaking and back testing process. In my case, we are using either PineScript 4 or PineScript 5. So that's what I'm using. You could do the same thing with Python, C++. I've seen it. Pretty good quality code, but you still got to know the language in and out. Now, you also have to know the process. So if you're coming in from near zero, you have to know about back testing, and now you're also including a new process called tweaking. So when you get your original code, it may not work. You can back test to your heart's content. Make sure you got a really strong facility in back testing. If not, use different language, use different coding environment. Tweaking is also important because you may be quite there. You may have to fix some little parameter or whatnot. But yeah, that's probably the longest amount of time you'll spend in when it comes from coding for a code generation from ChatGPT to an initial script of some kind. Um, Now, really, my honest opinion, if you're going to use something like TradingView, you want to trade and test a very low risk amount of money in a real trading environment. It's one thing, and this could be said about any programming language or any trading platform environment, doesn't matter. Um, Usually it doesn't work as well as you think it should. That's why you want to test real money and throw what works and what doesn't work, but use real money in a real live trading environment. Um, One tip I can give you if you have not seen my strategies, I always make use of buy and sell markers. So, for instance, if you have a sell, you're going to use a little green triangle for the buy and a sell. We'll have a little down pointing marker for the sell. It's pretty good for visualization, helps a lot, helps in your back testing, helps in your back testing results. So, if you know that, that should be very helpful. The other thing is the one tip I can give you is when it comes to trading strategies, make sure you have a trading idea. You've written out equivalent of a schema. If somebody came to me and said, I want this trading idea, I need to have a schema. I need to have some kind of spec that I can work off of with every single rule and every single condition to know how to implement that trading strategy. What happens when this happens? What happens when that happens? And on both angles, for both the if and else, you could call it. Um, Without that, you're going to get the less detail there is, the less it's foolproof for any kind of problems. And then that means when you have live money on it, you could lose money if it's not properly vetted with proper all the gaps in equivalent of leakage has to be covered off. If not, you're going to have problems. Certain conditions of all conditions have got to be covered off. So with that, you know what you want. You have to do step by step and put in a full spec. Once you have that spec, what you can do up to a limit, and if it's overly complicated, you're probably not going to be able to code generate it. You may be able to break it up into chunks to code generate it, but generally what I find is if there's too many steps to it, it's probably not going to be a very decent strategy because the more complicated it is, the higher probability it's going to break down and fail. Usually that's what I find. Simple works. You look at a simple cross moving average or moving average cross, simple exponential, that can work pretty good, depending upon your time frame. It could be as simple as that across a few other ones. If you look at my trading view, I don't make it overly complicated. A lot of the analysis that I look at online are not overly complicated, but what I do find on TradingView itself, when I look at more of popular, um, the popular uh, trading view ideas, they're fairly overly complicated with all these overlays and charts and stuff. People seem to like it, but I just find that the simpler it is, the better. It's just as effective. I'll come back to another example if you need. Okay, so when it comes to because what we're doing now is AI code generation can be whatever. ChatGPT, the new Google Bard. New Google Bard's got some new functionality to it. I really don't know. I've been using what seems to be more ChatGPT. Works fine if you keep it simple. Now, the thing is, you need to know how to debug, especially if you're in TradingView. Their environment's not that great. Um, you really can't do a whole lot um, in I think there's a visual code one as well, but I don't know how effective that is. Now, the important thing, this is very important to know. This is probably the most important I can tell you. When it comes to code generation, a lot of people get married to their trading idea, which becomes their trading strategy, and they're gonna obsess over it, meaning that they will probably take the strategy with them to their grave. That's how obsessed they are with these things. What I need to tell you is that this is a script, this is code generated, meaning that you could probably get something generated pretty quickly. Because of that, you got to really understand that these trading ideas can be highly disposable if they don't work out. If they don't work out, no matter how much you attack it, tweak it, quote unquote, debug it, and it's still not working, no matter what time frame, no matter what conditions you throw at it, throw it away and start over. If you get married to these things and they're not working, chances are they won't work. That's the beautiful thing about AI code generation. When you come up with something and you generate it, you tweak it to as best as you can, and it shows no potential of profit, with a higher probability of it. And that's the nice thing about the trading view environment. You have some parameters there that will give you a win ratio or success ratio, and the another factor as well, which can tell you right out of the gate if that strategy will do well. Um, and it might not do well against particular instruments. So it's better to span it across different instruments or different asset classes. So, for instance, in my case, um, most of the stuff I work on in terms of trading view ideas are the popular ones. We're dealing with gold, oil, Bitcoin, and I just added US dollar, maybe Euro US dollar, let's say. Um, from what I'm seeing, stock is not very popular right now. So the other ones that I mentioned, probably good to test that one strategy, that one script against those asset classes or those assets I already told you. They're probably the largest you can get. It will include volatility most likely, and you can go far back with a lot of these instruments. Again, those are Bitcoin, US dollar, DXY specifically, oil, and gold. Okay, so those are probably your best bets to go with. Um, just try them out, and then you can see if the strategy is a winner or not. And as I said, if it's not among those instruments, then chances are it will not be a winner. Just get out of the mindset of being stuck with it, being married to it. Throw it away. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Anyways, I've got my email list at the bottom. If you want to learn more about what I do, go to quantlabs.net/books. You can get on my email list there. I also have a course. A lot of banks now are requiring people to be coders now to get into a bank as a so-called trader, an analyst. You got to be a coder. So if you want to test yourself and you think you have what it takes, I would take my Python crypto trading bot course. That will walk you through every single major component of a trading bot, be it data wrangling, market data, how to capture it, how to execute the trade, how to do analysis using technical analysis, all the popular packages that you would get with Python. So it's a very good intro, high level into how to build these. So I have that. If you want, just ask away. I'll provide a link maybe in the YouTube or wherever you're watching this. Um, and that's going to be a requirement now. I think the testing now among people as more people get laid off to get these jobs is going to be more rigorous, and you're going to have to prove your chops just to get not at the front of the line but middle of the line. So you got to really know your stuff when it comes to how to build these things, these trading bots. And by doing it, it also shows enthusiasm, how driven you are to want one of these jobs. So again, you take this course and you can prove to people that you've taken the course, understood it, and it will challenge you. If you can't build one of these bots, you probably won't last too long in a bank. We'll leave it at that. Anyways, join my email list. I provide you some good tips here. You can co-generate if you want, but you still got to know the language, as I said earlier. All right. Thanks for watching. Again, go to quantlabs.net/books and get started with what I do. Over and out. Thanks for watching.